What if I told you that there is a way to potentially reduce risk on any trade that you can take and at the same time increase the chances of you winning that particular trade? Now, when the market is looking like this, this is US 30, this is actually, my best time to trade, because I know that we are going to be obliterating the market. You know that we like to trade the highs. I mean, this setup on Nasdaq on this channel, I think you have seen it couple of times, numbers unending, where we end up having Nasdaq just pushing up to the top. Now, from last week, we had seen the market trying to give a correction. You know that we are on an uptrend on most of the stock indices, and you know that an uptrend, it never just lasts forever. The market will always find time to start to correct itself before it progresses with the upward movement, which is what we're looking at right now on the Nasdaq. I do understand all of those traders that did have a hard time trading last week, because trading during a market correction can be undoubtedly very difficult, right? You have a lot of false breakouts. The market is giving false signals until it finds that resting spot, and then eventually just starts moving up to the top. This is why in the previous video, I was saying that when your setup is broken, you should immediately exit the market and look for another setup than holding on to a losing trade because of the analysis that you made. Now, before we dive right into the video, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We trade the Nasdaq over here. If you're returning, welcome back. You already know what's up. Don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. Guys, we have finally hit 20,000 subscribers, and I want to thank each and every single one of you guys for making this milestone happen for me. And just like I promised, I'm going to be doing a lit giveaway at 20,000 subscribers, and you guys have made that happen. So I did ask in one of the videos what you guys would like for the giveaway, and a lot of you guys voted for mentorship. Now I just launched the CTG Elite mentorship. That is a 6 weeks program, and all spots are closed right now. So I'm going to select the 3 most consistent members on this channel, and I'm going to mentor them for the next 6 weeks. We're going to be live trading together, and obviously they're going to be lifetime members of the inner circle. Yes, I do feel that mentorship alone is not enough, so I'm going to fund 5 different accounts and also let 5 consistent members join the inner circle for absolutely free. Now, I think that would do justice to the giveaway for 20,000 subscribers. I will be dropping the names of the winners on Instagram or Telegram, so make sure that you click the links in the description below to make sure that you check if your name is not part of those winning traders. Now, we're going to be having a lot more giveaways on this channel, and if you want to be selected as one of those winners, just make sure you stay consistent with the videos. We have someone like David over here. He has been commenting on every single one of the videos ever since he subscribed to the channel at 13,000, 7,000 subscribers later, and he's one of those people that are going to be part of this mentorship program. And without wasting so much time, let's dive right onto the charts and see what Nasdaq has in store for us. Now, the first thing we want to look at is, do we have news? And yes, we're going to have news from Tuesday. I think we have Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is Thursday and Friday. What? Thanksgiving is Thursday and Friday, guys. Thanksgiving is Thursday and Friday. That means we're going to be having low volatility in the market, little to no movement. We'll see how the market is moving, but I normally don't like to trade when we are on holiday, especially in the US. We did have a decent week last week where the market was respecting this little trend line over here, and on Monday we woke up with the buyers in control, Tuesday giving us the lowest point for that current week, and on Thursday we had the highest point that Nasdaq went. So we were actually just trading within this zone right over here. Now, if you're someone that caught this trade as soon as it rejected at this little trend line, or even at the spot, you could have just rolled it up to the top, just holding it currently. So the setup does not look complicated at all. Let's just delete every single thing that we have and start from the daily time frame, because top-down analysis is important when you're starting the new week, right? So we're going to mark up our overall trend. It failed to hit this level that we were looking at for the last week, and then it gave us a trend within this trend. Now, if you just watch the weekly analysis last week, you could have simply traded this Nasdaq trade at this spot, because I did draw this trend line and say that it should reject at this level. If it does not, it's going to break out to come and reject here. So for a swing trader, this could have been your entry point, and you would have rolled it up to the top. You can see that the only level that we would want Nasdaq to go to is actually the highs, if it doesn't break out of the spot that it currently is. And if it goes for the highs, you know that we're going to obliterate that, because we already like trading the highs. So let's just mark up our most recent levels. I had marked it up like this, and I dropped this in the free signal group also. So the market was reacting at this level, and currently it's trying to break out of it. And also notice how we are forming a little build up. Remember what we say about build ups at a resistance or at a support level right over here, right? So want to be careful. The market has been trying to break out of this level for quite some time. It went up with this week. This was a whole day. This was the day when I actually thought that the market was going to break out of this level. It did get to this point and wicked right back. We caught a trade from around about this level, and I wanted to add positions as the market broke out of this zone right over here, but I did wait for a close outside, which it did not give, so I could not add positions. Now, as I was saying at the beginning of the video, you always want to reduce your risk for every trade that you're going to end up taking. So in times where the market is uncertain, like right now, you always want to allocate small positions each time you enter a trade, and then as the market favors you, you add to those winning trades, which is just simply scaling into that position. So using an example of our Nasdaq chart right over here, let's just say the market does open and is outside of this level. Now you're interested in this spot right over here, right? You enter a small position right at the retest. Let's say it gives a little reach. Remember, I said you always want to allocate small positions when you are entering at first, because your setup has not yet been confirmed. Right now you want to trade a break and a retest. Sometimes retests might end up turning into reversal. So if you allocate a small position, in this case you end up losing small if the setup is wrong. Now for this particular trade, I wouldn't say you should place your stop loss below all of this, because you now have to end up accommodating this week, this week, this week, and then the stop loss ends up being so ridiculous, right? So we want to focus on this level that we have right over here. So we would have our stop loss somewhere at this spot. What we're saying here is very simple. You are saying that this breakout and the retest it has made should stand for the market to go to the next level, which is the highs at the zone. Now you should understand that with each candlestick the market forms, that's already changing the setup that you initially had, and you need to analyze each candlestick as it forms. Now what we'll be looking at here is this trend over here. We will now have another trend with this main trend that we have. We are saying that if the market wants to continue, it should keep respecting this trend line. Now this is just a rough little trend line. You end up drawing it nicely as how I teach in most of the other videos. If it goes up to the top after it rejects, comes back to this level, respects this trend line at the zone, when it comes back to the zone, you know that at the breakout you want to add positions, which is just scaling in. So we'll have our market around about this spot, and I do know that a lot of traders fail to actually add positions to their winning trades, so you end up just taking your stop loss and putting it at break even so that you run the trade. And as the market keeps pushing up to these levels, you want to start trailing the stop loss. So those that have confidence in their setups like me add positions to their winning trades, and those that don't have, you just simply take your stop loss, put it at break even, and start scaling in. You can even do that even after you've added the trades. Now all of this is going to be depending on your account size and the risk appetite that you actually have. So in simple terms, that's exactly what I'll be looking for Nasdaq to do. Actually break out of this level, opens and it has broken out of this level and continues with the upward momentum to these levels that we are seeing here. And obviously you know that when it does get to these zones, we want to talk of the breakout of the highs for a new level. This will now be an easy trade when Nasdaq gets to the zone. Now once again, we do have a lot of lines. I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these because we do not need them. Now in the case that it does not actually break out of this level, it comes to the zone, I don't want to actually look for buying positions at this spot, because this trend line that we're having is already a weak zone. The market might end up breaking out of. Look at the number of times it has tried to break out of this trend line. It will end up breaking out of it and going to this next level. And if it does, you already know that we will now want to look for our buying positions in this zone. Let me see how this looks on the daily time frame. Ooh, it's actually a really nice level. So this will probably be the spot we want to look for buying positions if Nasdaq fails to hold at this spot right over here. But I do see it coming to these highs, breaking out of them and pushing up to the top. So that right there, what I just taught you is one powerful trade management technique that you can use to reduce risk when you're trading and to capitalize on every position that you actually get. You end up losing small if the market goes against you and making even more money if it goes in your direction. Now let's go over to US30. Let's see. Oh, US30 closed with like +1%, and you can already see that it has gone for the highs. Now I gave this US30 setup in the free signal. It was looking like this. This is exactly where US30 was, and I told them that if we get a pullback, they should join this buying momentum, and we did get a pullback. Now the pullback was on the 1 hour time frame. Let me just check how that was actually looking. So this was around about the spot where we got the pullback, right over here. So this was the entry point that I gave everyone, and the market just pushed right up to the top, such that if you're not in the group, you literally missed out on this beautiful trade that we all had. Now back to the daily time frame, we're just saying that US30 looks like it's really going for the highs. I mean, if it closes like that, which it has already done, because this is a new week, right? This is where the market closed on Friday. Let's see how the market opens on Monday, and these are already the highs. It has already broken out of the highs, but we do have a week that we should accommodate, which is right over here. So we should give a chance to actually retest this week, see if it does end up breaking out of it, and then we'll now say that US30 has indeed broken out of the all-time highs, and we want to see new highs on US30. Now, other than that, we'll just be looking to buy it if it does retrace. You know, even though I don't really like this type of trend line, let's go on to the 4-hour time frame. Let's see what it actually looks like. This one, we don't need it for the short term. So this is what the trend line would end up looking like on US30 right over here. All I can say is I would want it to break out of the highs. We'll end up having also another trend within this trend right over here, but this one, they might break out of it and it comes back to retest this zone. So this is where we would be having a retest probably on US30 right over here. So we'd have the market breaking out and coming back, probably breaking out of this trend line, coming back to find support here, and then moving up to the top. If it breaks out of this, then we have to step back and reanalyze the chart. That is not something we'll be expecting on US30. It does not seem complicated since it has already gone for the high. Now that's about it on US30. It's not complicated at all, nothing too complicated on that. Gold, yes, on gold. Now listen, I did give this setup also on last week's weekly analysis. I said that if gold fails to hold this trend line, this break of this trend line, we're actually going to go in as soon as it comes inside of the trend line. You can already see that. Now if you had already seen this movement, this is a daily time frame, right? So it was Friday. This is the close that we had on Friday. Monday opened with such a bullish move. If you know your price action, this was a good spot for you to buy gold with your stop loss right at this level. I mean, if you did not want to actually buy it as soon as this candle closed, you would have waited for the next day and probably got it from this level, right? And then reduce your stop loss probably to something like this, because it should not actually then break and close outside of the trend line. You'll still be sitting in 3 days worth of profit on gold. It was an absolutely lovely trade. Right now, what we're looking at is for it to actually then go for the highs. If it, I mean, I don't have a nice setup on gold. If it does end up going for the highs, then that is when we can find another setup. Right now, it's right how you're supposed to be in the trade. But let's go on to the 4-hour time frame. Let's see what we're having on the 4-hour time frame. We'll try and draw a little trend line like this and still wait for the market to come back to that particular trend line. Let's just delete every single thing that we have right over here. So this is just basically technical analysis. You should also remember that the fundamentals will be playing a lot more in this market, right? So this is a trend line that we can pull on gold. It's on a little uptrend on the 4-hour time frame, and would look for the market to come probably to this level. And then if you want to catch the move, let's see a rejection at the spot and then catch the gold movement to the upside. Now that's about it, guys. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button, turn on your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. With that, it's been Tino, and I'll see you in the next lit video. Peace.